And we're very excited to be hanging out with our guy, Andre James. And Andre, first of all, I think we just look back at, let's call it the last month for what Josh has been doing from that running back position. Like, what do you guys as a line see, think, feel when you're like, oh, 28's in the zone today?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. You can see it just in the way he prepares out throughout the week. And, it gives us like a sense of, we got to get out and do this, not just for him, but for the whole team. And he takes on that approach, like I said, every week, and it gets the whole team motivated and fired up. So it's awesome blocking for a guy like that.
What's he like in the huddle? I mean, we've heard, we kind of know what Derek's like in the huddle. We've heard from so many people say, what his kind of demeanor is like. But when Josh is like fully locked in and is literally running the ball at a historic clip for this franchise, which is pretty incredible to think about how long this team's been around. But like, what is he like when you get into the huddle?
Man, just laser-like focus. He's a definition of a competitor. You can feel his energy whether he's quiet or not, but you can definitely feel his presence in the huddle.
One thing I thought was pretty cool, rewatching the game from Sunday and obviously looking at the stats and all that. The one thing that really stood out to me, so Josh goes like 140 plus on the ground, right? But his longest run was 15 yards. So for you guys as an offensive line, like the entire collective, like that just has to feel really good in the sense of like he didn't get loose once, right?
Yep.
But we as a group consistently went chunk after chunk. And I mean, I imagine for an offensive lineman, that's got to be the dream, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. It's awesome to have get some confidence in the running game, being able to get it called. That gives us confidence, having coach be able to call the run after again and again. So, those first couple series, you might get 3 or 4 yards, but, as the game goes on, you start leaning on them. Those 4-yard gains start turning into 8 yards. They turn into 10 yards, 12 yards. And that's just how it is. It's hard for a defense to take that over and over again, and that's what we're trying to do, just develop that pounding round game.
Can you guys as a line, like as a collective, like 5 big fellas up front, can you feel that as the game goes on? Like, hey, this defensive line we're starting to wear on them a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. As the game goes on, you can feel it start to lean on people, and that's what you want. It's never going to be perfect, but you just keep working at it. You keep running the ball, and having a guy like Josh back there, he makes it easy.
One thing I think that's been really interesting about, you look at the collective of the big fellas up front this year, and I think, and I mean this in a good way, people think that you are a lot older and have played a lot more football. They think you're like, oh, he's a 12-year veteran. Like, no, that's not really the case. But, when you look at the young guys in particular, the younger guys, I should say, but you look at a guy like Thayer, you look at Dylan, dudes that have come in and played a lot of reps, Dylan, kind of all over that offensive line. What have you seen from them in the early goings of their career in Silver and Black?
Yeah, I'm super proud of them, man. It's been awesome. We've had some shuffling go around on this the offensive line, but we feel like we got a pretty solid base of what we got going now, and just getting comfortable now. Just getting comfortable about how we want to work in those positions, next to each other. But these rookies have poured everything they have into it. It's really awesome to see. I'm super proud of them. It's awesome to see how they work. It pushes me and it pushes the rest of the guys. When they come in and they're doing extra, and it's like you want to keep doing more than what they're doing. So it's awesome. I'm proud of them.
Does Dylan call you sir? Because we had him up here, and we had him up here in the studio a couple of weeks ago. And at one point I was like, listen, man, I know you're trying to be polite here, but I'm not that much older than you. But he's a super respectful, super polite dude who's like clearly doing everything right. But like that's somebody like, listen, man, I'm not that old, right?
He's an awesome rookie, man. He came in like that, and he's super respectful, and that's how he's been since day one. He's a good rookie. He keeps the snacks in the O-line room, and there's no complaints from him.
What's the order, like a typical order for the O-line to put in for the rookies to grab you guys food?
Oh man, usually Friday mornings we either get Chick-fil-A breakfast with them, or we'll either get a Mama Bird's breakfast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll either do that, or sometimes if it's an away game, we'll do plane food. So we'll get the food and we'll have them bring it to the plane. We can eat on the plane.
So let me ask you this, logistically speaking. Let's say we're going to do Chick-fil-A tomorrow, right? So does Dylan or Thayer or insert rookie here, do they have to put that on the old debit card, or is that they're not expensing that, are they?
Oh no, that goes on whatever they're getting signed to. I know Yeah, they were some pretty high picks. So being like me, a guy who was undrafted, it was kind of hard my first year. But but yeah, I think they know them by now at Chick-fil-A.
That's good.
They know them by face.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about this O-line just having a chance to grow, and we brought up the shuffling, and it's something coaches talked about a lot, and really everyone's kind of spoken about it and trying to find that best five, right? Mm-hmm. And coach talks about finding the guys that deserve a chance to go out there and play. Like when you look at where the group is now compared to where you were week one, I mean, what do you think the biggest difference is from the way that you guys were playing, way back in September to now?
I feel like just dialing into, what we have to do with the technique aspect has been a big part, and just understanding the concept of what we're doing more. At first it was a new offense. We understood, some of the combination blocks, but a lot of it is understanding where the ball wants to go. So, that has been a big aspect of what I think has helped out the run game, understanding where Josh wants to hit it and how we can leverage our blocks, to help that.
And I imagine, especially for the offensive line, knowing or having to know everything that's going to be happening, plan A, B, C, D, all the way down to plan Z. I feel like a lot of what you guys are asked to do is almost be fortune tellers in a sense and be like, okay, if this happens, then we're going to do this. And I imagine, especially like you said, with a new offense, it takes a little bit of time to get comfortable and to fully understand, what all those contingency plans are.
Yeah, it takes a lot of studying, a lot of preparation in the week. We have awesome coaches that give us great breakdowns. They're going to install the best play they can to put us in the best position. And that's what they definitely do each week. So my hat goes off to them. We always feel confident as a room and as a whole offense that they're going to put us in the best position. So there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of it is just earlier in the week that people don't see.
We get ready for, Sunday's game, then you guys are going to stay in Florida for the week. But, starting with that game in New Orleans, I mean, you look at their defense, and Cam Jordan, I think, is the one that everyone comes to mind, a guy who's been uber successful in this league for a really, really long time. From your point of view, a guy who's in literally the middle of everything, how do you kind of understand where Cam is, what he's trying to be about, while also doing it just feels like, especially for a guy in your position, there's so many things that have to be running through your mind when you have kind of an elite edge guy coming after you there.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Cam Jordan's a great player. We're just super excited for the opportunity. We as an O-line, you want to play against the best. You want to practice against the best. That's our mentality going into it. So we're super excited for the opportunity. It feels like every week, you have another guy that's this name, with this stat or this, you know what I mean. So, like I said, we're just excited for the opportunity. We're just ready to get after it.
And it's crazy, too, because you're not that much younger than me, but it's wild to think that it feels like every team in the NFL now has multiple dudes who can get after the quarterback and wreck a game. When we were kids, you're like, oh, there's 10 guys in the league, or oh, there's 12 guys in the league that, hey, this is kind of the creme de la creme, but it seems like every team just cycles in dogs, dude. It's unreal.
No doubt, man. It's crazy how much the game has developed and changed with everything. And I feel like it's really especially on the defense line, these are some of the best athletes in the world, in my opinion, and what they're doing. And so it makes it super fun, and it's a challenge, and I think that's what's the funnest part about it.
Don't sell you guys, short too much. I mean, I always say the offensive linemen, when my buddies are like, oh, who do you think is the best athlete on this team or whatever? I'm like, dude, don't sleep on the offensive linemen and the defensive tackles.
Yeah.
Because the big fellas that are nimble, that can run, that can get out in space. It's one thing if you see, Hunter Renfrow out there running, a 4.4 or whatever, but then it's another to see a big dude who's 360 pounds, oh, this guy's cooking.
Yeah, moving.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's just another way I feel like the game has changed in such a crazy way. It's you look back maybe 10 years ago, and you got dudes who are 350, 360. You're not as mobile as a lot of the guys who are now, and it's just changed a lot, and it's cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the one thing, it's the constant, right? The only constant is change. Things are always going to change. People are going to evolve. Concepts are going to evolve. Themes, et cetera, et cetera. But before we get you out here, we brought up the fact that you guys are staying in Florida for the week, not doing that long flight back here to fly back to Jacksonville the weekend following. Just from a player recovery sense, how valuable is it to be hey, we're only getting on one long trip, and then we're going to be set up in Florida, and then hopefully making another long trip back, after a good Sunday in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. It's a good opportunity for us to get our bodies back under us, staying on the East Coast. So never been to Sarasota before, so excited to go spend some time on the beach when I get a little off time. But from getting a recovery aspect from it, it's important because especially after a game, man. Those plane trips, take a toll on your body.
Yeah, I mean, if they take a toll on the average Joe's body like me, like I'm not playing 85 snaps and going toe to toe with some of the best guys in the league. But yeah, it'll be exciting to see you guys have a chance to, like you said, rest, recover, take advantage of the time in Florida, and we're not going back and forth.
Yeah,
but
no doubt.
before that, business to handle in New Orleans, one day at a time, 1 week at a time. So best of luck on Sunday, man. Safe travels out to there, and then Florida, and we'll catch you soon. All right, bro?
Yeah, thank you so much, man.